under my skin. If I rise, it's not my name. I wear their armor. I bear their blame. Hate agents of war, crowds in lost and fire. Even to the blood won't flow out. Quiet hearts conspire. Hate agents of war, when the edge is sharp as prayer. Yours arms crimson flow. Shadow in my skin. White chalk on the floor, all names in a circle of scars. Copper on my tongue, eyes turn to an ashen stain. Who is his chosen and beloved? Pages breathing slow, with the same cold age. Glyphs bruise blue on my skin. This is who I serve. I whisper, let them in. Agents of war, crowns made of rust and fire. Kneel to the blood-warm throne of fire, where the quiet hearts conspire. Agents of war, waiting cages sharp as prayer. If I open my chest to you, will you make them all aware? Steel wings in the glass, footsteps in the staircase, helmets full of light. Lockheed Martin and hundreds of other corporations get national corporations from waiting with undergrad degrees that aren't going to match the depth that they're creating. Words like hammers on my bones. The 117 primary function and write-in candidate is promise me a kingdom built from shattered hearts and agents of war, crowns made of rust and fire. Kneel to the blood-warm throne of power, where the quiet heart hidden red ticker, blue screen, your face on the feed. He got you fucked up, bro. Treat his Hey, bro, I was just gonna say that. And I mean that. I stand on business. Hey, dude, shut the fuck up. Brooke is mind your business. Don't play with her. Do not play with Brooke. We done trolling, nigga. We done trolling. I'm not trolling, nigga. You gotta slap the shit out you. That's some.
No more doubt than the unhappy priest had found the fatal grimoire. He had done the avocation and prepared himself for the murder by a series of sacrileges. For this, in what the infernal avocations consist, according to the grimoire of Honorius. Choose a black cock and give him the name of the spirit of darkness which one wishes to evoke. Kill the cock, keep its heart, its tongue, and the first feather of its left wing. Dry the tongue and the heart and reduce them to powder. Eat no meat and drink no wine that day. On Tuesday at dawn say a mass of the angels. Trace upon the altar itself with the feather of the cock, dipped in a consecrated wine, certain diabolical signatures, those of Mr. Holmes' pencil, and the bloody host of Ventros. On Wednesday, prepare a taper of yellow wax, rise at midnight, and alone in the church begin the office of the dead. Mingle with this office infernal avocations. Finish the office by the light of a single taper, extinguish it immediately, and remain without light in the church thus profaned until sunrise. On Thursday, mingle with the consecrated water the powder of the tongue, heart of the black cock. Let all be swallowed by a male lamb of 9 days old. The hand refuses to write the rest. It is a mixture of brutalizing practices and revolting crimes, so constituted as to kill forevermore judgment and conscience. But in order to communicate with the phantom of absolute evil, to realize that phantom to the point of seeing and touching it, is it not necessary to be without conscience and without judgment? There is doubtless the secret of this incredible perversity, of this murderous fury, of this unwholesome hate against all order, all ministry, all hierarchy, of this fury, above all, against the dogma which sanctifies peace, obedience, gentleness, purity, under so touching an emblem as that of a mother. This wretch thought himself sure not to die. The emperor thought he would be obliged to pardon him. An honorable exile awaited him. His crime would give him an enormous celebrity. His reveries would be bought for the weight in gold by the booksellers. He would become immensely rich, attract the notice of a great lady, and marry beyond the seas. It is by such promises the phantom of the devil long ago Lord Gilles de Laval, Signor of Retz, and made him wade from crime to crime. A man that he is disposed to all kinds of hallucinations and all lies. Sir Virgo slept in blood, to dream of I know not what abominable pantheon, and he awoke upon the scaffold. But the aberrations of perversity do not constitute an insanity. The execution of this wretch proved it. One knows what desperate resistance he made to his executioners. It is treason, said he. I cannot die, so only 1 hour, an hour to write to the Emperor. The Emperor is bound to save me. Who then was betraying him? Who then had promised him life? Who then had assured him beforehand of a clemency, which was impossible, because it would revolt the conscience of the public? Ask all that of the grimoire of Honorius. 2 incidents in this tragic story bear upon the phenomena produced by Mr. Home. The noise of the storm heard by the wicked priest in his early avocations, and the difficulty which he found in expressing his real thought in the presence of Eliphas Levi. One may also comment upon the apparition of the sinister man, taking pleasure in the public grief, uttering an indeed infernal word in the midst of the consternation of the crowd, an apparition only noticed by the ecstatic of La Salette. The 2 celebrated Melier de la Meliere, who has the air, after all, of a worthy individual, but very excitable, and perhaps capable of acting and speaking without knowing it herself, under the influence of a sort of ascetic sleepwalking. This word sleepwalking brings us back to Mr. Home, and our anecdotes have not made us forget what the title of this work promised to our readers. We ought then to tell them what Mr. Home is. We keep our promise. Mr. Home is an invalid suffering from a contagious sleepwaking. This is an assertion. It remains to us to give an explanation and a demonstration. That explanation and demonstration, in order to be complete, demand a work sufficient to fill a book. That book has been written, and we shall publish it shortly. Here is the title: The Reason of Miracles, or the Devil at the Tribunal of Science. Why the devil? Because we have demonstrated by facts that what Mr. de Merville had before us incompletely set forth. We say incompletely because the devil is, for Mr. de Merville, a fantastic personage, while for us it is the misuse of a natural force. A medium once said, hell is not a place, it is a state. We shall be able to add, the devil is not a person or a force. It is a vice, and in consequence, a weakness. Let us return for a moment to the study of phenomena. Mediums are in general of poor health and narrow limitations. They can accomplish nothing extraordinary in the presence of calm and educated persons. One must be accustomed to them before seeing or feeling anything. The phenomena are not identical for all present. For example, where one will see a hand, another will perceive nothing but a whitish smoke. Persons impressed by the magnetism of Mr. Home feel a sort of indisposition. It seems to them that the room turns round, and the temperature seems to them to grow rapidly lower. The miracles are more successful in the presence of a few people chosen by the medium himself. In a meeting of several persons, it may be that all will see the miracles, with the exception of one who will see absolutely nothing. Among the persons who do see, all do not see the same thing. Thus, for example, one evening at M. de B's, the medium made appear a child which that lady had lost. M. de B. alone saw the child. Count Diem saw a little whitish vapor in the shape of a pyramid. The others saw nothing. Everybody knows that certain substances, hashish, for example, intoxicate without taking away the use of reason, and cause to be seen with an astonishing vividness things which do not exist. A great part of the phenomena of Mr. Home belong to a natural influence similar to that of hashish. This is the reason why the medium refuses to operate, except before a small number of persons chosen by himself. The rest of these phenomena should be attributed to magnetic power. To see anything at Mr. Holmes' seances is not a reassuring index of the health of him who sees. And even if his health should be in other ways excellent, the vision indicates a transitory perturbation of the nervous apparatus in its relation to imagination and light. If this perturbation were frequently repeated, he would become seriously ill. Who knows how many collapses, attacks of tetanus, insanities, violent deaths, the mania of table turning has already produced? These phenomena become particularly terrible when perversity takes possession of them. It is then that one can really affirm the intervention and presence of the spirit of evil. Perversity or fatality. These pretended miracles obey one of these two powers. As to Kabbalistic writings, the mysterious signatures, we shall say they reproduce themselves by the magnetic intuition of the mirages of thought and the universal vital fluid. Signs of the occult sanctuary are the natural expressions of absolute ideas. It is this which we shall demonstrate in our book. But in order not to send back our readers from the unknown to the future, we shall attach beforehand 2 chapters of that unpublished work, one upon the Kabbalistic word, the other upon the secrets of the Kabbalah, and we shall draw conclusions which will complete in a manner satisfactory to all the explanation which we have promised in the matter of Mr. Home. There exists a power which generates forms. This power is light. Light creates forms in accordance with the laws of eternal mathematics by the universal equilibrium of light and shadow. The primitive signs of thought trace themselves by themselves in the light, which is the material instrument of thought. God is the soul of light. The universal and infinite light is for us, as it were, the body of God. The Kabbalah, or transcendental magic, is the science of light. Light corresponds to life. The kingdom of shadows is death. All the dogmas of true religion are written in the Kabbalah. The characters of light upon a page of shadow. The page of shadows consists of blind beliefs. Light is the great plastic medium. The alliance of the soul and the body is a marriage of light and shadow. Light is the instrument of the word. It is the white writing of God upon the great book of night. Light is the source of thought, and it is in it that one must seek for the origin of all religious dogma. But there is only one true dogma, as there is only one pure light. Shadow alone is infinitely varied. Light, shadow, and their harmony, which is the vision of beings, form the principle analogous to the great dogmas of Trinity, of incarnation, and of redemption. Such is also the mystery of the cross. It will be easy for us to prove this by an appeal to religious monuments, by the signs of the primitive word, by those books which contain the secrets of the Kabbalah, and finally by the reasoned explanation of all the mysteries by the means of the keys of Kabbalistic magic. In all symbolisms, in fact, we find ideas of antagonism. and of harmony, producing a Trinitarian notion in the conception of divinity, following which the mythological personification of the four cardinal points of heaven completes the sacred septenary, the base of all dogmas and of all rites. In order to convince oneself of it, it is sufficient to read again and meditate upon the learned work of Dupuy, who would be a great Kabbalist if he had seen a harmony of truths where his negative preoccupations only permitted him to see a concert of errors. It is not here our business to repeat his work, which everybody knows, but it is important to prove that the religious reform brought about by Moses was altogether Kabbalistic. The Christianity in instituting a new dogma upon the universal and natural mysteries of Oriental initiation. It is distinguished by little-known man of learning, Mr. P. Lacord, in his book on the Elohim or Mosaic God, has thrown a great light on that question and has rediscovered in the symbols of Egypt all the allegorical figures of Genesis. More recently, another courageous student of vast erudition, Mr. Vincent de Ilioni, has published a treatise upon idolatry among both the ancients and the moderns, in which he raises the veil of universal mythology. We invite conscientious students to read these various works, and we confine ourselves to the special study of the Kabbalah among the Hebrews. The Logos, or Word, being according to the initiates of that science the complete revelation, principles of the Holy Kabbalah are to be found reunited in the signs themselves of which the primitive alphabet is composed. Now this is what we find in all Hebrew grammars. Subnote, this is all deliberately wrong. That Levi knew the correct attributions is evident from a manuscript annotated by himself. Levi refused to reveal these attributions rightly enough, as his grade was not high enough, and the time not ripe. Note the subtlety of the form of his statement. The correct attributions are in Liber 777. There is a fundamental and universal letter which generates all the others. It is the IOD. There are two other mother letters opposed and analogous among themselves, the Aleph and the Mem, according to others, the Shin. There are 7 double letters, the Beth, the Gimel, the Daleth, the Kaf, the Peh, the Resh, and the Tau. Finally, there are 12 simple letters, in all 22. The unity is represented in a relative manner by the Aleph. The ternary is figured either by Iod Mem Shin or by Aleph Mem Shin. The septenary by Beth, Gimel, Daleth, Kaf, Peh, Resh, Tau. The duodenary by the other letters. The duodenary is the ternary multiplied by 4, and it re-enters thus into the symbolism of the septenary. Each letter represents a number. Each assemblage of letters a series of numbers. The key of the mysteries. The numbers represent absolute philosophical ideas. The letters are shorthand hieroglyphics. Let us see now the hieroglyphic and philosophical significations of each of the 22 letters. Vide Balarmin, Rushlin, Saint Jerome, Kabbalah Denudata, Sefer Yetzirah, Technica Curiosa of Father Schott, Picus de Mirandola, and other authors, especially those of the collection of Pistorius. The mothers, the Eod, the Iod, the IOD, the absolute principle, the productive being, the Mem, spirit, or the Jachin of Solomon, the Shin, matter, or the column called Boaz, the double letters Beth, reflection, thought, the moon, the angel Gabriel, prince of mysteries, Gimel, love, will, Venus, the angel Anael, prince of life and death, Daleth, force, power, Jupiter, intelligence, Mercury, Raphael, prince of sciences, Aresh, destruction and regeneration, time, Saturn, Cassiel, king of tombs and of solitude, Tau, truth, light, the sun, Michael, king of the Elohim. Okay, that concludes my 10 minutes of reading a book before I go to sleep. Thanks for listening. It's been 23 minutes of reading a book. This is The Mysteries, the Key, the Secret Key Activator of Eliphas Levi. The Key of the Mysteries. Good night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share now. Slow Researcher wrote, another loser GOP, no job, have an ass. Well, I don't know. Is it considered work if you read a book? Is it considered work if you leave a comment on your cell phone and you project? Okay, I'm going to finish this off with a little music. This is copyright free, so feel free to record it, transmit it, and disseminate it however you want. It's called Throne of the Ashen Star.
White chalk on the floor, all names in a circle of scars, copper on my tongue, eyes turn to an ashen star, pages breathing smoke, lips bruised blue on my skin. You asked who I serve. I whisper, let them in. Agents of crowns made of rust and fire. Kneel to the blood-warm throne of power. chalk on the floor, old names in a circle of scars. Copper on my tongue, eyes turn to an ashen star. Do I serve? I whisper, let them in. Angel agents of war, cross between rust and fire. Kneel to the blood throne of power, where the quiet hearts conspire. Angel agents of war, we can just shout this prayer. If I open my chest to you, will you make them whole? Steel rings in the glass, footsteps in the static air. Helmets full of light, but the gaze is cold and bare. They speak in broken swords like hammers on my bones. Promise me a kingdom built from shattered oaths and thrones. Angel agents of war, crowns made of rust and fire. Kneel to the Lord, throne of power, where the quiet hearts conspire. Angel agents of war, bring edge as sharp as breath. If I open my chest to you, will you make them all? Take my pulse, count each step, carve your verdict under my skin. If I rise, it's not my name. I wear their armor, I bear their blame. Angel agents of war, crowns made of rust and fire. Kneel to the blood throne of power, where the quiet hearts conspire. Angel agents of war, when edge is sharp as prayer. I am yours on this crimson throne. Leave your shadow in my sleep. Name of names, healing breath, older than soul, awakening my I walk the path that burn and bloom. 10 bright doors in a living room of stars. Whispered sounds I can barely say, yet they carve my heart like clay. God of wisdom and light, open the crown of my mind. Let the letters ignite. Turn my darkness into sunshine. On the tree of secret fire, every wound becomes a sign. God of wisdom and light, write your glory into mine. Gold on black in a book of flame. Every branch is a burning name I take. Every step is a dying thought. Every silence a word you taught. God of wisdom and light, open the crown of my mind. Let the letters ignite. Turn my shadows into sunlight. In the tree of secret fire, every wound becomes a sign. God of wisdom and light, write your glory into mine. I am touched, I am known, I am blessed, I am born as above. So below, teach my tongue how to love. God of wisdom and light.
Is that the founder of the liquor store?
Write your glory into mine.
I'll give you something to help you go to sleep, KP. This is Dr. John, Dr. GJ, DJ giving you God in our everyday.
Morning light on the kitchen floor.
He left. Motherfucker.
Mom hums grace by the oak.
Okay, I'm going to go to bed. Good night. Hope you enjoyed my show. Hit that like button, subscribe. This is candidate John Kitover running for the 16th District of Illinois. Write my name in, and let's remove the hood tomorrow, the next day, all the way up until next Tuesday, March 17th. Or is that the next week? I don't know. Health, wealth, love, peace of mind, happiness, and strength. God bless everyone.